You're with India Post Live, India's first online news conversation web TV. I'm Ishan Russell, and India Post is, of course, a forum for you to participate in. You can come in via using your mobile, laptop, any other technology tool that you have, given the fact that social media has completely invaded our lives. So you can use Twitter, hashtag India Post Live to your tweets, or use our Twitter handle at India Post Live, or you can use Facebook. Facebook page is there, India Post Live, and you can go and comment over there, post a picture, post a video, post anything if you want. And you can also go to indiapostlive.com, check out this while we're streaming live right now, and also record it for later. And there are other videos that are other conversations that we've done about various other issues. So go through them, explore, and do comment. We value your feedback. And in case you want to participate in a conversation, well, just leave us a request, and you can come in via Google Plus and Google Hangout, that is, and also Skype. Alright, so the issue that we're talking about today, well, the Indians, whether they're good travelers or not. And travelers, by that I mean good commuters. Do they have good etiquette? Do they have good manners? Well, the Central Industrial Security Force, which mans the security at installations like the metro stations, at airports, say that Indians are really amongst the most rude people when it comes to commuting. So is that really the case? Well, let's explore that through the story first.
Recently, the Central Industrial Security Force, or the CISF personnel, expressed their annoyance with the growing rudeness of passengers at the Delhi Metro public. They said it is time that commuters and not them are told to behave. This leaves us to ponder whether an average Indian traveller is rightly perceived to be loud, aggressive and lacking in civic sense and invite hostility. Isn't rudeness a common malaise with us? Do we shout at security staff at public places? And don't we flaunt our connections at the drop of a hat? Let us do a self-introspection.
Alright, so we'll try to do that self-introspection. Where have we gone wrong as a country? We'll try to figure that out with Krishna Kumar. He is the Bureau Chief of Travel Biz Monitor. Thanks very much for coming in. And also with us is Rutabi Mehta. She's a travel blogger and founder of Photo Katha. Nidhi Tayal joins us. She's a nutritionist and has lived abroad for a substantial number of years, if I'm not mistaken, at least a decade in the US. So she's experienced first-hand Indians traveling abroad. And Asha Khosa joins us. Asha is, of course, a senior editor over here at India Post Live. Thanks very much for coming in, Asha. I'll ask you first to just put the story in context. One really doesn't often hear the CISF complaining about behavior of people. So why was this necessitated?
So I think we actually spoke to CISF on this issue.
Asha, I'll just ask you to speak into the mic of your, so that we can hear you. Yeah.
I'm audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, actually we, after this came out, we spoke to CISF on this issue. I mean, why they are in the situation that they have to go public about it. And amazingly, what they told us is that, their personnel are being trained and retrained and reoriented in soft skills to be courteous to people. Basically, they are all soldiers. They were never meant to be only courteous. They were meant to, hold a gun or a lathi in their hand, and that's how they used to do their duty. But now CISF is playing very important role. So the entire role of CISF has been changed. They are the interface between the government installations and public. So they say we keep improving ourselves, but there are times when even our patients is being put in their steps. And then sometimes even these break, we have to book route commuters at metro stations, sometimes at airports for rude behavior, and we sometimes they just get into, they grab us by collar and say, "Chanta nahi hai main kaun," and so, and sometimes people, they say, "We are eating ice cream. What is your problem? I mean, why can't you allow me to ask for security?" Those kind of complaints they have, and they are saying, while yes, we're constantly trying to improve its behavior, its soft skills. The commuters are becoming more brash day by day.
Alright, is the summer heat making commuters angry with security personnel, or is it a broad trend that we see with Indians when they travel?
My feeling is that this is not the first time such issues have come into the forefront. Maybe because it got more highlighted because it happened in a mode of transport which which it's modern, most modern, the Indian scenario, and it's a lot more disciplined than other modes of transport, compared to our city transport system. So basically, if you go out of the metro and go to the railway station, if you go to the New Delhi railway station in the afternoon time, when some trains to Patna or other places departs. So if you go to railway station, so you can see another horrific kind of situation. How the Delhi police, now this is CISF which is manning the metro system, but how the Delhi police and railway police is trying hard to discipline people, because the supply is scarce, and the demand for the people to get into the train and get a seat is much higher. So this if you ask me a question whether we have to discipline ourselves, we are an indisciplined lot. By our behavior and our heritage, if you look at, we are not a disciplined lot. So we have to learn, and we have to go a long way.
All right, we certainly have to go a long way. Rutabi, I want to come to you. As far as Indians being route travelers are concerned, what would you say? I mean, you write a travel blog, you founder of Photo Katha, so I'm sure a lot of photos would be there as well of how Indians often misbehave when they're traveling or commuting.
So, as you mentioned that I am a travel blogger from a lot of countries, and I've traveled a lot towards Europe and a lot of Middle East. Now, when we decide to say that Indian travelers are very rude, there are specifications of travel people who travel to different sides of the genre. That includes even the airlines, the public transports, and it also includes the routes of how we use in India. We're not very well accomplished in terms of the three words that we need to use, which is thank you for any kind of service which I've been given. However, Indian travelers are much more wide-covered per se, but they haven't been in a position to ever say thank you or try to go forward. And especially in the airlines, if you see, even when they're talking to the cabin crew as well, the warmness with the cabin crew is not very much well understood. So I believe that it's definitely has to do with different genres of people who travel across the world. When it comes to Indian travelers being very rude, you cannot generalize saying that everybody is the same. But I would say that it depends on what genres basically travel and which sectors do they travel on.
All right, but Nidhi, the problem is that broadly it has become a norm that if there are a whole host of Indian people on a flight, on a train, or anything abroad, or even for that matter within India, the kind of attitude that is often there, the civic sense is often missing. And the funny thing is that when people are traveling in India, I mean, they might be really rude, but when they're traveling abroad, they just become like that culture. Like, for example, I remember in the US, I was traveling with a few people, and in India, they would get onto a bus and never say hello or thank you to a driver or a conductor. But
Exactly.
over there, they certainly did that.
Yeah, so recently there was an article done on even Huffington Post that which are the top people or the top countries who are not very good travelers, and out of which three countries were very similar ones, which even I had thought was German, the second one was British, and the third was Indian.
Yeah,
So out of the five countries, we are considered as to be not the ones who are very well traveler people. But yes, it's to do with our culture actually. Even in hospitality section, if you go, you will never see somebody saying thank you to a waiter after serving a glass of water. But once you try to go abroad and when you see the culture over there, most of the Indians try to change the same.
All right. So, Nidhi, would it be a problem with the kind of upbringing that we have had? Is it not taught in our schools? Is it not taught by parents? Where did this stem from?
I would say it stemmed from the mentality that is so deeply ingrained in us Indians that if you own it, you can ruin it. That's what I think is the basic problem. we have stopped taking pride in our country. We have stopped taking pride in the fact that we are growing, we have better infrastructures. We just want to use it and abuse it further. I see the same lot, like you said. If there are a lot of people traveling within India, they're going to behave totally different vis-a-vis if they are traveling abroad, if they have lived outside India, be it any country, they are going to behave in a totally different manner. If you have people, Indians, visiting from US to India, they would not mind littering on the roads. They would not mind making their children pee on the roadside. But within US, it becomes a norm for them to not do these kind of things. Maybe because they the laws are stringent there. They know they have to follow the rules, and somehow, somewhere, we are still lacking in that part.
All right, so deterrence towards a bad behavior, how would we create that? I mean, do we say that CISF should arrest somebody who was being rude on the metro, or should be not allowed to travel on the metro? I mean, do we look at solutions like that for people to understand the importance of the civic amenities that they use?
No, that discipline should come from within.
But where does it start? From the home, schools, where?
It should start from own home, then from schools. So this should I think we must send the entire country on a on a farm to some places where there is some kind of culture and discipline. Even I have traveled to several places, international destinations with on farms and all that. Even I have traveled with Indian groups. Sometimes as a travel journalist, I travel with the travel agents community or travel media groups. So I've seen if not for the size of the pie that Indian outbound offers, if Indians. Nobody would entertain Indians, other destinations because of the sheer size and the money that they spend in destinations. We have that tendency that when we go to a destination, we feel that we bought that destination for us. The entire thing is ours. We don't care for others. Even there's one instance I want to quote. In one of my travels to Thailand, in Pattaya, while I was in a hotel where we were staying, it was a media group. The GM was of the hotel. It was a hotel, Hard Rock Hotel, just on the beach. The GM was saying, I don't want to know more. We were asking because of our curiosity how much Indians stay in their hotel and all that. He was saying, actually, frankly speaking, I don't want Indians, that mass Indians to stay in my hotel because it's really scary because they don't spare our staff even, lady staff. They have that. I had to summon a GM from an Indian general manager from a neighboring hotel to prevail upon them, at sometimes, so to convince them, this is not the way to behave. So there's a problem, the inherent problem in Indians, that we have to it cannot happen with a deterrent or so, because we always have that tendency to break the law. We are not
in terms of deterrence. For example, like Singapore imposes a heavy fine on like chewing gum or spitting or something like that.
So yes, it should happen. Heavy deterrence, heavy penalties, penal punishments. Something of that sort should happen. Even those who pee on the street, the payments are not those illiterate lots. So even people coming on BMWs and Volkswagens and all that, they park their vehicle on the roadside and they pee on the street. So it is not that illiterate people, जो पढ़ा लिखा नहीं है, जो हम कहते हैं, they are not those who break the laws or those who are indisciplined. Even
They're probably too scared of doing anything
yes,
wrong.
yes, yes, yes.
The
yes,
ones
yes,
who
yes.
think they can get away with it often
Yes, yes,
indulge
yes,
in
yes,
that
yes,
rudeness. I want to go across to Rutabi, because Rutabi, as far as Indians are concerned, and Krishna raised a very important point about deterrence, and we were talking about it, that can stricter fines, or if somebody is being rude, I mean, a pilot can throw the person off a plane, but should a CISF personnel then be allowed to not allow the same person onto the metro if in case they're being rude? Would you agree with that? I mean, would that be a fair assessment, a fair start?
To support with this, or rather to give you an example, I was traveling from Bombay to Qatar on a airline which is called Qatar Airways, and there was this gentleman who was not agreeing to move from his seat, which is ideally not his seat, which is not a window seat. And that gentleman, to be surprised, as Sir was mentioning, he's a general manager for a very famous hotel in India. And he took about 15 minutes to understand that the seat is not there. And Qatar Airways was very strong enough to get the gentleman up from his seat and take him back to the airport area to ask that why was this situation. So, I mean, it's I would say that we all always do big promises by saying, no, we should make a change. But how many of us make a change? Like, I just came back from Goa and I was traveling with one of the buses yesterday. In the morning I reached, and I was the only one who wanted to make them understand that, you should need to run the buses properly. So I think if we want to make a change by saying that, we should pay, or we should do a penalty, or somebody traveling in metro should do a security, I think we are the ones are first supposed to make a view and opinion about it, and then mark a thing about that we are change.
All right. Asha, you wanted to make a point?
Yes, I in fact want to make the point. One, when you are saying that probably we should have penalty clauses to check indiscipline and the very poor civic sense. Yes, ideally we should have, but think of it, will we be able to implement it, and how much of kind of exploitation of this clause will be there? So right now, the penalty clause might not be a practical thing, only because of the problem that we don't have enough policemen, enough competent policemen to implement it. That will become a creative.
No, but then a policeman is competent enough to implement a punishment about a rape or a murder. Then I think he should be competent enough to judge a crime about spitting.
Yeah, right. But are they able to handle all the rape cases? What I'm saying is the problem is so big, and our police is not. They already have so much at their hands. Will they sincerely implement it? That's the point I'm trying to make. And the other point I wanted to make is that we Indians, when we go to the root of our behavior, we are very futile in our attitude. We may be holding high-end gadgets in our hands and using them, but at the same time, right here, we are still the futile people. When there's always somebody either he has above me or below me. Not only passengers, I remember, if you come from Gulf area to India, you see the same Indian Airlines or Air India, these hospitals, they're behaving so badly and rudely with workers who are coming back home. So this bad behavior is all prevalent. I think somewhere the nation as such has to think and evolve a strategy, and the lessons, I think, should begin from school.
All right, so school is where Asha is saying the lesson should begin from. But Riddhi, I want to come to the point of why even lessons. The fact is that, I mean, there are enough people who, if somebody is being rude, should ideally stand up and say something that you're being rude, please do not do that, or you're interrupting my travel experience, you're causing me an inconvenience. But as Indian travelers, we often don't do that as well. And that is where I think the immediate change can start from, isn't it?
See, the question that you are putting up, I would answer that again. As a fellow traveler, an Indian would not like to intervene because he doesn't want his traveling experience to go bad. They can compromise on the image of the nation that is being built internationally, but they would not compromise on their own travel experience. This is one part. Secondly, Leading by example again. I don't think giving lessons in schools or teaching moral science, which again has created a lot of other problems in the society today. And then compliance to rules and laws. That is what is totally missing. Even if we have cops, we have policemen. Like the other day, a constable was killed in Delhi due to the road rage thing. If there are enough competent people to tell you the right and wrong, are you ready to hear them or are you ready to follow them? We have stopped following rules and we have stopped following the people who are imposing these rules.
All right, so a lot to reflect on. Krishnakumar, final word to you. I mean, one step that you would suggest could perhaps make a little bit of a difference, if you had to.
No, to bring difference, there's whole change has to come, in the society. That there's a whole revolution is required. I'm not going to, I'm not wanting to go political in this issue. I think the movements that have come up like Aam Aadmi Party and all that in recent years. I think these movements, not the mainstream political parties can bring changes.
Like
this
the movement against corruption,
this
for
discipline,
example.
this in terms of discipline, I'm telling, because the cadres of these mainstream political parties themselves are not disciplined. But these movements like Aam Aadmi Party and all that, such social movements can bring changes if they intend.
All right, so as long as the intent is there, I mean, an interesting point you raised over there about the Aam Aadmi Party and about people's movements, and if there is a sustained people's movement about our own rudeness of stop being rude. So, all right, but why don't we try to start that?
If they can, they could bring that discipline, not to bribe anybody, not even a government office. If somebody asks for a bribe, don't give bribe.
Spit on the road or do not litter on the road.
If such discipline can be brought into the society, I think these movements can bring such this discipline in the roads, safety everywhere. Such movements can play a major role.
All right, in fact, let's try to start a small movement. Let's start a hashtag trend. In case you're watching the show, tweet out to us using the hashtag, let's say, what can we call it? Hashtag rude Indians. And let's talk about instances or let's talk about solutions to rude Indians. And do write in to us, tweet out to us, and we'll, of course, put those views out on. I promise to have this conversation once again to figure out what you people think about rude Indians. Meanwhile, we'll wrap this up. Thank you very much, Krishnakumar, for coming in. Also, Asha, Rutabi, and Nidhi, thanks so much for joining us on Google Hangout. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Well, so that's it. Perhaps next time when you're seeing somebody being rude, it's time you stepped in and said, please do not be like that. That's not how we are. We are a gentle, sober culture. That's what we'd like to call ourselves. So let's try to live up to that example. Thanks so much for watching.